Have you ever reopened a project the morning after a long agent session and felt unable to continue? Yesterday, you clarified the request, changed the code, and ran tests. Every chat turn is still available. The commit history is still there. Yet you hesitate, because you cannot quickly answer a few basic questions. Where exactly did the work stop? Which conclusions were verified, and which were only discussed? What remains risky? What should happen next? What must not be changed? The problem is not that the record disappeared. The record never became project memory. Chat history answers what was said. Project memory answers what should happen next. One is organized by time, the other is organized around action. Until the difference is made explicit, a longer conversation can make resuming the project harder instead of easier. Consider a common example. Near the beginning of a session, you confirmed that a CSV import entry already exists. In the middle, you changed the empty file error and a test passed. Near the end, you noticed that large file performance had not been verified. 3 days earlier, you had also set an important boundary: do not change the existing field mapping. All 4 pieces of information exist, but they are scattered across the timeline. If the next agent sees only the test passed, it may mistake a local result for a reliable import path. If it sees only continue improving the importer, it may redesign the field mapping that was supposed to remain stable. Complete storage did not prevent either mistake. So use a stronger test. Could another person, another agent, or your future self safely take the next step without repeating the old work? If the answer is no, the conversation is still an archive. It may be a detailed archive, but it is not yet operational memory. Useful project memory does not need to be long. It needs 4 parts. First, verified facts. Record only what has been confirmed in code, a real interface, logs, tests, or an actual result. It should work is not a verified fact. The import entry is visible and one real import completed is a verified fact. This tells the next operator which ground is solid and does not need to be guessed again. Second, the latest change and its evidence. Do not write only fixed the import issue. Say what changed and what proves it. For example, empty files now return a traceable error, the import empty.csv case passed. The change explains what happened. The evidence prevents a confident sentence from being mistaken for proof. Third, unfinished risks. The most dangerous handoff is often not the one that forgets completed work. It is the one that forgets what remains unproven. Large file performance has not been verified may sound incomplete, but that sentence protects the project. It stops one passing test from becoming a claim that the entire path is reliable. Fourth, the next action and its boundary. Continue optimizing is not a next action. A useful next action has an object, an action, and a completion signal. For example, complete one real import with a 10 MB sample. Do not change the existing field mapping. The first sentence starts the work. The second keeps the work from drifting. Compress those 4 parts into one relay card. Goal: help a new user finish the first import. Confirmed, the CSV entry works. Changed, empty files now show a traceable error, and import empty.csv passed. Open risk, large file performance. Next, run one real 10 MB import. Keep the existing field mapping unchanged. That card does not repeat the entire discussion. It preserves what the next action needs, why the work exists, what is already true, what is still unknown, what happens next, and which boundary must hold. This is the difference between a conversation summary and project memory. A summary asks what the conversation discussed. Project memory asks how the project can move forward. More memory is not always better memory. The first attempt often becomes a giant document containing every detail. After a few sessions, nobody wants to read it and nobody feels safe updating it. Use 3 filters instead. If a detail does not affect the next action, leave it in the chat archive. If a claim has no evidence, do not present it as a fact, label it as unverified. When the state changes, replace the old conclusion. Project memory is not a monument to previous work. It is the entry point to the current state. These filters keep memory light. The number of conversations can grow without forcing the cost of resumption to grow with them. SZLK is built around making the next action recoverable. It does not replace the agent you already use, and it does not ask you to move development into a separate environment. It keeps the roadmap, stage conversations, run summaries, and handoff information beside the project. A session can end with more than another transcript. It can leave behind a state that the next session can actually use. Tools may change. Sessions end. Runs can be interrupted. When facts, evidence, risks, and next actions remain attached to the project, its direction does not disappear with one conversation. You do not need to organize your entire history today. Look only at your most recent agent session. Write one compact relay card with the current goal, verified facts, the latest change and its evidence, unfinished risks, the next action, and the boundary that must hold. Then close the chat. Return 10 minutes later and read only that card. If you know what to do next and what must not be mistaken for complete, the project memory is already doing its job. The goal is not to remember every sentence. It is to make the next action recoverable.